Hey guys, it's Rob here, and today we're going to be talking about Square Enix and E3 2019. We haven't really heard much from Square Enix in the past couple months. They've been really quiet since Kingdom Hearts 3 was released, and we still haven't gotten that full-blown presentation on the Final Fantasy VII Remake. But not too long ago, we did get a mention of a slew of new games during the fiscal year briefing, which I covered on this channel. Something big that was going to make them a lot of money, and a game that would get tons of fans excited, which sounds a lot like a new Final Fantasy game or maybe Final Fantasy VII Remake being shown off. Now this is already known knowledge, but something recently popped up which makes me think we could see Final Fantasy VII and possibly more at E3 2019. So if you haven't heard yet, Sony will not be attending E3 2019, most likely to get the PS5 unveil ready for E3 2020, which leaves the spot open for Square Enix to swoop in and take. Square Enix taking Sony spots means a number of things. It could mean that there could be a big announcement, say Final Fantasy VII, or maybe multiple announcements that would make the same amount of time as a Sony conference would. Now Final Fantasy VII hasn't gotten much attention from Square Enix lately. They haven't really shown any gameplay or given any really juicy information on the game. Now we have gotten some footage back in 2015, I believe, or 2014, but it was re-scrapped and I doubt it'll look exactly like that footage right now. Gamers are basically in the dark, so I hope we do see something from the game, and if we don't, we're looking at a PS5 launch title and maybe a release on the PS4 also. Now PS5 will be backwards compatible with PS4 games, so it's going to be interesting to see how much people buy it for the PS5 if it comes out on the PS5 and how much people buy it on the PS4. And this is really a smart move on Square Enix's part too. A lot of Sony fans are Final Fantasy fans and Square Enix fans, so it lines up almost too perfect, including the time of development for Final Fantasy VII. It's been a while since they started developing it. It's really a good chance for them to show off what they've worked on so far, or if it's complete. Now the question is this going to come out in 2019? This would all depend on how far the development is. If it's going to come out in 2019, then it's going to be on the PS4, and most likely we'll get a port for PS5. But if it's not going to come out in 2019, then we'll most likely get that generation leap, that in between where they'll release it on the PS4 and PS5. Another question you have to ask is what else could we see at the Square Enix conference? Because let's remember, they still have that Avengers project that we haven't seen anything from yet. It would be a perfect chance to show off something from that project. Then I know they have something to show off because it's been in development for a long time, and all we have is this teaser which you're seeing on screen right now. One thing I don't see people bringing up is the Nintendo Switch. Octopath Travelers sold very well on the Nintendo Switch, and it even surprised Square Enix with the sales for that game. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I could have sworn there was something about a sequel being made for Octopath Travelers, so we could possibly see a sequel during this conference for Square Enix. And even if it's not the sequel to Octopath Travelers, making another game in the same vein as that, or maybe a new IP made by Square Enix at a low budget that would make them a lot of money and it's very fun to play and interesting, would be a possibility too. And honestly, I'm ready for a new Final Fantasy. I really want to see what the next gen Final Fantasy is gonna be like. I think there's a very small chance that we could see Final Fantasy 16 at E3 2019, but if not at E3 2019, I think 2020 would be the best spot to place it. Having a Final Fantasy 16 game early on in the PS5's life would be fantastic for the system and definitely get a lot of people on board. Whatever's going to happen at Square Enix E3 2019, I'm sure it'll blow the fans' minds away, and I hope it really does, because I'm ready for some new content from Square Enix. For more gaming news, subscribe to the channel and leave a like. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me at the Twitter handle RoboRob93. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.